What's up, guys? I hope you're all having a great Thanksgiving. And if you're watching this after Thanksgiving, I hope you had a wonderful holiday. And today, I'm going to be talking about the new Netflix film, The Piano Lesson. This is based off an August Wilson play. There was a couple movies that were made that were based on his plays. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom is a film that I haven't seen, but I have seen Fences, which was directed by Denzel Washington, starring Denzel Washington and Viola Davis, who won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress that year. This is one of Denzel's best performances, and it's a great movie. This film tells the story of a family heirloom, a piano that has been passed through generations and has been neglected. You have Danielle Deadwyler as the owner of the piano, the sibling of John David Washington's character, but she hasn't played it for reasons that she's not really comfortable to talk about. She hasn't played it, she hasn't even opened it. But once John David Washington's character comes in to try to sell the piano, it brings a lot of things up from under the carpet that will test them. So the film is the story of the family. Also, Samuel Jackson is part of the family. Danielle Deadwyler is probably going to get a nomination for Best Supporting Actress for this. She was terrific in the film called Till that came out a few years ago. She was not nominated for Best Lead Actress for this movie. She should have been, but she wasn't. This time around, I think she is going to get the nomination because she's the heart and soul of the movie. And I think every performance in the movie is great. I can see this getting nominated for SAG Ensemble. John David Washington is also great in the role. And the film is beautiful to look at. The cinematography is excellent. The production design is excellent. I thought the editing was very good. And the pacing of it as well. We kind of were like, okay, how much do we have left? And we were already over an hour into it. So I do think that it flows at a very good pace. There's a lot of stuff going on with the characters. You have a friend of John David Washington who's coming in, who's helping him sell watermelons. You have a preacher. There's been a death. There's some questionable things that happen in the past, and characters have to deal with that in a very interesting way. I thought the first two acts of this movie were very good, but the third act of this film, I don't think anything can prepare you for it. This movie turns into, and I'm not kidding when I say, this movie turns into The Conjuring in its final 15 minutes. I was so surprised. Like, I felt like I was watching The Exorcist in a way, how the movie just goes from 0 to 100. And I was like, oh, okay, this is either going to turn a lot of people off or you're going to be interested in it. And guess what? I was pretty interested in it. I was like, wow, I was not expecting at all. But it did work for me, but I think it's an ending that is extremely extreme, and it's not going to work for everybody. It gets very supernatural. But the story and the through line of it and why it's happening is very emotional, and it's the emotional core of the movie. So I think that because I cared about the situation is kind of why I was okay with that third act. But other than that, there's some side plots that are going on with romance in the movie, which I thought were just there to fill up the runtime. But look, in the end of the day, this is a very good film. It's very entertaining. It's very watchable. And if you can get past that third act and you'll be okay with it, I think you're going to like the movie. And I'm going to give The Piano Lesson 4 out of 5 stars. I did really enjoy it. I liked the performances. I like the family dynamic. The family dynamic in this movie is very strong and it works really well. Danielle Deadwyler, like I said, is the best part of the movie. She's the heart and soul of the film. So yeah, this is one of those films that has come out that's been getting some buzz, particularly for Deadwyler's performance. I can see this maybe getting in for Best Adapted Screenplay as well. I did like it, and I just think it might be a little too extreme for the general audience to accept. And that is solely due to the end of the movie, which is, I am not kidding, it goes from 0 to 100 very quickly. That's my thoughts on The Piano Lesson, guys. Comment down below. Do you plan on seeing this movie? It's on Netflix now. It's the Thanksgiving weekend coming up, so do you plan on checking this out on Netflix? You also have Spellbound, which is a new animated musical, music from Alan Menken and Glenn Slater. That's the better animated musical that's out right now. for talking about Moana 2. My review for that is also up. And Wicked and Gladiator 2. A lot of big movies that are out right now. You've got a bunch of options and a bunch of other things that you can rent digitally, like The Wild Robot, Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice is on 4K. You got a lot of options to check out this holiday season. But also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for a bunch of reviews coming in the future, a bunch more awards type films coming up, and a bunch of other bigger December releases to close out the year. Guys, you can follow me on Twitter and or X at Ranking72 and Instagram and TikTok at KickinRises131. That's been it for me. Thank you so much for watching my review for The Piano Lesson. And until next time, over and out.